Hello, everybody. Today we will be reading The Little Prince, The Little Prince, which is soon to be a major motion picture. Anyways, let's continue from where we left off, and this is part 2. Let's continue. Grab me a sheep. I leaped up as I had heard it, as if I had been struck by lightning. I rubbed my eyes hard. I stared, and I saw an extraordinary little fellow staring back at me very seriously. Here is the best portrait I managed to make of him later on, but of course my drawing is much less attractive than my model. That is not my fault. My career as a painter has discouraged at the age of 6 by the grown-ups, and I have never learned to draw anything except boa constrictors, outside and inside. So I stared wide-eyed at this apparition. Don't forget that I was 1,000 miles from any inhabited territory, yet this little fellow seemed to be neither lost nor dying or of exhaustion, hunger or thirst, nor did he seem scared to death. There was nothing in his appearance that suggested a child lost in the middle of the desert, 1,000 miles from any inhabited territory. Which I finally managed to speak. I asked him, "But what are you doing here?" And then he repeated very slowly and very seriously, "Please draw me a sheep." In the face of an overpowering mystery, you don't dare disobey, observe, and as it seemed 1,000 miles from all inhabited regions and in the danger of death, I took a scrap of paper and pen out of my pocket, but then I remembered that I had mostly studied geography, history, and metric, something, I don't know that word, and grammar, something that I did not have on that word. And I told the little fellow rather crossly that I didn't know how to draw. He replied, "That doesn't matter. Draw me a sheep." Since I had never drawn a sheep, I made him one of. Here is the best portrait I make him later on. I made him one of the only 2 drawings I knew how to make. The one of the boa constrictor from outside, and I was as tuned to hear the little fellow answer, "No, I don't want an elephant inside a boa constrictor. A boa constrictor is very dangerous, and an elephant would get in the way. Where I live, everything is very small. I need a sheep. Draw me a sheep." So then I made a drawing. He looked at it very carefully, and then he said, No, This one is already quite sick. Make another. I made another drawing. My friend gave me a kind of indulgent smile. You can see for yourself that that's not a sheep. It's a ram. It has horns. So I made my third drawing, but it was rejected like the others. This one's too old. I want a sheep that will live a long time. So then impatiently, since I was in a hurry to start work on my engine, I scribbled this drawing and added this is just as a crate. The sheep you want is inside, but I was amazed to see my young critic's face light up. That's just the kind I wanted. Do you think this sheep will need a lot of grass? Why? Because where I live, everything is very small. There's sure to be enough. I've given you a very small sheep. Look, small sheep. He bent over the drawing, not so small as all that. Look, he's gone to sleep. And that's how I made the acquaintance of the little prince. Chapter 3, I think. That's why there's 3, I think. Three. It took me a long time to understand where he came from. The little prince who asked me so many questions never seemed to hear the ones I asked him. It was things that he said at quite random. Bit by bit, explained everything. For instance, when he first caught sight of my airplane, I won't draw my airplane. That would be much too complicated for me. He asked, what's that thing over there? It's not a thing. It flies. It's an airplane. My airplane. And I was proud to tell him I could fly. Then he explained, what? You fell out of the sky? Yes, I said modestly. Oh, that's funny. And the little prince broke into a lovely peal of laughter, which annoyed me a good deal. I like my misfortunes to be taken seriously. Then he added, so you fell out of the sky too? What planet are you from? The end.